recording. Oh, they didn't do it. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. Nobody do it. Oh, they didn't. Oh, how am I? An idiot.
BC has quick and easy to understand business.
Full self-driving coming on the economy anytime soon. I don't even think Elon Musk is working.
And hotcakes. Let's talk chocolate. Hershey, cocoa prices have been high. How does that affect a player like that and opportunities you see?
Well, I think it's creating a great opportunity in Hershey's. I'm not a value guy. Everything that's bad is actually good. So in Hershey's, the stock's down 30% because its highest, its biggest cost of goods sold is cocoa. So cocoa prices, as you've reported, have quadrupled in the last 2 years, and they've doubled in the last 2 months. So that's terrible for Hershey's. So the stock is naturally down. Also, the multiple is down because nobody wants to own a company that's going to have this big headwind. But if you think a year or two ahead, cocoa prices drop, Hershey's earnings explode because the margins get bigger, and the multiple then increases. You've got this leverage that can make Hershey's a stock that can go up 50 or 60% over 2 or 3 years. So that's the kind of stock that can still work in a bad market that us value guys really like.
Okay, maybe like the mini pandemic effect we saw in some stocks. Chris, good to have you. Good to see you. If it's up to me, we will have you back. All right, Chris Casante
Good. Nice to
from
hear.
MAI. Well, sticking from high rates, turning to housing, the age-old debate of renting versus owning is starting to change in a big way thanks to soaring mortgage rates. Our Diana Olick has that story. Diana?
Well, John, the rent versus own math used to play out differently city to city, but home ownership has become so expensive that renting a home is now cheaper than buying one in all 50 of the largest U.S. metropolitan markets. Now, that's according to a new report from Bankrate, which compared monthly mortgage payments to current rents. Now, the monthly mortgage payment for a median-priced home, which is around $412,000, was $2,703 as of February of this year. That includes property taxes and insurance. So compare that to the national monthly rent of $1,979, which includes renter's insurance. That's a 37% gap between the two. But in 21 markets, that gap is actually 50% or more. Those markets include San Francisco, Seattle, Salt Lake City, Austin, Denver, and Dallas. Now, cities with the smallest gaps, although still more expensive to own, include Detroit, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, Cleveland, St. Louis, and Tampa. Now, these numbers are as of February, when rates were slightly lower than they are today. Rents have been easing despite rising demand because there's just so much new rental supply coming on the market this year. Multifamily starts, however, have dropped sharply. So once that supply does get eaten up, rents could start to rise again. And John, one more note I would say, even though it's more expensive now to own, you are building equity when you do own a home because largely prices go up for houses. John.
Indeed, and you mentioned multifamily. What's this effect doing to the multifamily investor market? Because I guess on one side, tenants are more likely to stick around if they're not moving up, but then it's hard to buy something new unless you're paying cash because capital is at a premium.
Yeah, I mean, look, the oversupply in the rental market with the big REITs, because we're talking about Class A multifamily apartments, and those are owned by your bigger REITs, they're still doing quite well. But again, they are having to either lower prices a little bit or give concessions on that first month of rent. So the multifamily market's still very strong, again, because we have this large demand from renters. But again, once that rental supply does get eaten up, you're going to see those rents start to pop back up again. So I don't think investors in multifamily really have anything to worry about.
All right, Diana Olick, thank you. Now, coming up, shares of Tesla sharply higher today after the company cleared a key and long-awaited hurdle in China. You can see shares up there 15+%. We're going to have details how important it is for the company and for the stock from here. Plus, 3 more names on deck to report, including this one. It's already up 85% in 1 year, but that's not stopping our trader from buying it. He says, let your winners run. He's going to join us ahead in earnings exchange. We're back in 2.
CNBC has quick and easy to understand business news updates at the open, midday, and close every weekday. Markets, money, and more.
Will provide mapping for Tesla. Those shares also higher on the news. And we should note this news coming on the heels of Elon Musk's surprise trip to China, where he met with the Chinese premier in Beijing. on Sunday. For more on how significant this is to Tesla and to the stock going forward, I'm joined by Tom Narayan, the lead equity analyst at RBC Autos at RBC Capital. Tom, good to see you. So I get conceptually why this is a big deal. The part that I don't get yet, maybe you can help me with, is how relevant is the existing US data in training for Chinese full self-driving, or regionally is this completely separate training? Because I imagine, data you get training in Des Moines isn't going to be that great in New York City, right? We drive different in different places in this world.
Yes and no. So what we've learned from FSD in the US is the highway driving is already as good as it's going to get. It's amazing. The difficult part is the urban environments. And what we've noticed from urban environments in China is that they actually are pretty similar to urban environments in the United States. And the other thing I would note is, remember, the Chinese, it's a central government authority that wants this to happen, that wants to have level 2+ and potentially more robotaxis, etc. So there is a more likelihood that we'll get to autonomy faster, actually, in China than there will be in the US. So while, rural areas, highways may be somewhat different, that part is not the difficult part. It's really the urban environments. And in the dense urban environments in China, it's actually not as different as what we have in the US.
Looking out for investors, is there a kind of TikTok risk here for Tesla? Teslas are, driving around with cameras on them, sensors, looking at who's going where, how people drive. The argument could be made, I'm sure, from the Chinese government side, and probably has been made. It's why it took this long to get this kind of approval, that, boy, that's spy material if it's all getting sent to the US. So could this end up being a bargaining chip getting turned on and off in these periods of US-China tensions, or is there enough benefit, social, societal benefit that China's getting that they're not going to want to do that?
Yeah, this has been going on for a long time, where they didn't allow that data to go back to the US for the, algorithmic learning. So clearly the reason why they accepted it now is there's a reason, and it's what you just pointed out. It's safety. FSD in the US is 5 times safer than a regular car, not 5% more, 5 times safer, right? So, governments like China, certain states in the US, they're looking for the greatest good to society. It's saving lives. It's definitely a huge utility that it does. So I think it's really them looking at what's the best thing for society, and it's saving lives, limiting accidents. That's really what's the driving force here.
Does it truly bad for revenues and margins? Because then it's got to be Tesla's fleet, either that or they got to get people who are willing to lend their cars out for other people to ride around in, which has all kinds of issues.
Well, the economics of robotaxis is massive. I'll just give you some numbers. You pay right now when you order an Uber about $1.90 per mile. The cost of a private car to own is about 53 cents per mile. To own and operate a robotaxi is about 33 cents per mile. Look at the economics of a product you could charge somebody willing to pay $1.90 that costs you only 33 cents. The margins are huge. Also, the amount of miles on the road is going to be increased, and you charge on a per mile basis instead of selling a car. There's a piece of hardware that's super capital intensive with, to be honest, our auto industry is some of the worst margins of any company in the world, right? It's like high single-digit EBIT margins, maybe double digits if you're lucky in the industry. Here, you're dealing with a business that that you can get way bigger margins, and it's on a per-mile basis where you can charge a big fee. The economics is much bigger. Also, the overall TAM of robotaxis grows far beyond just the $3 trillion box with wheels car industry. Takes share from planes, takes share from trains. Remember, all the short-term, near flights from small cities to each other. It also is a bedroom with wheels, a living room with wheels. It's an office with wheels. It has the ability to transform society. This urban housing crisis, we see a third of cities is cars looking for parking and parking garages. We could resolve a lot of that. This is a huge societal transformational event, a great money grab, but also it's something where legislators and politicians, they want to go in this direction, and that is actually where we're headed.
Okay, maybe they'll even figure it out in China first. Tom Narayan, RBC Global Autos Analyst, thank you. Now still ahead, this company has a unique tie to the weight loss drug trade. It just beat on the top and bottom lines. Shares and Stefan.
I think is behind us. We see normal growth. We, of course, had a boost of new launches after travel remained with our fragrance. That's now more normalizing, and demand is picking up at a more normal pace. And all these supply chain issues, I think, are in a rearview mirror.
Give me a quick primer on the technology here that's important, because I didn't generally think of these pumps as being high tech, but then again, I think to the time when I was a kid and we were worried about the ozone layer and chlorofluorocarbons, that was a dispensing technology that really had to kind of phase out because it was bad for the environment. So there's definitely tech in there. What are we moving toward? Where's your R&D effort going that's going to show you benefit down the line?
Yes, so these are really high-tech products, often dozen of sub-assemblies put together at high speeds, 600, 1,000 parts per minute, and indeed more and more sustainable in monomaterial fashion, so they can be thrown away in the recycling bin and easily recycled. So our customers are really driven by the consumer who demand innovation, and as you know, we were the ones who enabled upside-down ketchup, later upside-down sour cream, and most recently dish soap. And the same in the pharma space, making nose-to-brain drug delivery possible for things like pain reduction or antidepressants, or unfortunately also Narcan.
Okay, so in those areas, are you sort of competing against people going to taking pills, taking these drugs orally? Are there innovations that you can make to make either this less painful, less cumbersome, that's going to lead to share gains over time?
Absolutely. Just think about it. Do you want to inject yourself like with an EpiPen, or do you want to just have a nasal spray take care of that? So it's a much more consumer-friendly way of administering drugs. And many of our customers, pharma companies, find this as a very good way to give drugs a new life cycle. Things that used to be injected can be administered to the nose and become more effective and much quicker to the brain where they need to do their work.
Does the macroeconomy affect demand for you, or is it just mostly based on who needs whatever product? I wonder how stable demand is, even despite these macro cycles, something investors might want to think about.
Yeah, when you think about a normal recession, if there's such a thing, really doesn't scare us. People have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They put on their game face. They take their drugs in good times and bad times. Clearly, COVID wasn't a normal recession, and COVID hurt us. But with COVID behind us, we're back to executing very well, and now have 7 quarters of EPS beats behind us.
What about international expansion? What are the best market possibilities for you right now?
Yeah, we're actually a very global company, been around for 80 years, public is 30. 70% of our business is outside of the US, big base in Europe, growing base in Asia. In fact, the board was just in China for a week. So we're a global company, and geographic growth is an important driver for us, especially in pharma, but also in beauty and the food markets.
Right, from injectable drugs to upside down sour cream. I love the breadth there. Stefan Tanda, thank you. Now coming up, Paramount set to release results after the bell today, maybe also release CEO Bob Bass.
Well, since the news broke back on December 10th that Sherry Redstone was looking to sell her controlling stake in the company, now sources tell me Sony and Apollo are considering submitting their alternative proposal to Skydance's bid as early as this week. Now, there's another wild card here as well, which is Paramount's negotiations with Charter over their deal that expires tomorrow night. The terms of that deal and whether Charter takes all the channels and with what fees will impact Paramount's value going forward. John?
Julia, this is a company in an industry under a lot of pressure, unless your name is Netflix, regardless of what happens here. But does it look like people are feeling that this deal with Ellison is probably the bird in the hand?
That's what I was hearing up through yesterday, that this deal was sort of set to happen, that this is what Sherry Redstone wants to happen. But the fact that we're now getting more of these details leaked about sort of how the new terms of this deal, the best and final offer, does make it a better deal for shareholders, to me actually makes it much more likely that it's going to happen, because that might minimize the potential for lawsuits, et cetera. But I think that it's still a wild card right now. The deal may or may not happen. The charter deal really does need to get done. We saw.
All right, why is it so expensive? Why is it so many monopoly? One channel, two cables, three cables. How many companies are there with TV stations? Fuck up.
The conflict between charter
Two. Fuck up.
and Disney, and what a sort of different kind of complicated distribution that deal was, incorporating streaming rights. And so I think there are a lot of unknowns here, John, but I suspect we'll hear a lot more at 4 p.m. Eastern.
All right. Can't wait for the series, whether it's a movie or on one of the streamers. I don't know. Thanks, Julia. Coming up, Mickey D's, Maggiano's, and Manjaro. We've got the action, the story, and the trade on McDonald's brink consumer. You would think that would be weight loss drug demand is a key focus as prices for older drugs decline and investors wait for announcements from the development pipeline. So you like Eli Lilly here because people are eating so much Chili's and Maggiano's?
If that's the reason, it's an established leader. It's a great example of letting your winners run and sticking with uptrends. It's been on our large cap buy.
Oh, fuck that.
Point of build, whatever, is there's no optimal point. It's all like a trade-off curve, right? And Celestia's so far is basically having some kind of execution proofs, whether it's ZK or fraud proofs, with some form of, with data availability guarantees, with like data availability sampling, or if you want to, you can just download all the data, and that way you're like fully secure and you're not making any assumptions. Now, the reason why, like tying this back to sovereignty, or like why does it make sense to share a common DA layer? First of all, it's an interoperability thing, and I guess I kind of already covered it, but before data availability sampling, like it didn't make sense for chains to all like couple this, but you also get this shared security of the consensus as well. Like if you're also deriving consensus from the underlying DA layer, you don't have to have your own consensus network and your own proof of stake system. It can all be kind of within one proof of stake system. And the good thing about consensus is that it's extremely scalable, because all you're doing is just voting. Like consensus is actually one thing that is inherently makes it an honest majority assumption. There's no way consensus is a subjective thing. It's not objective. Like
consensus is honest majority.
Yeah, exactly. Whether it's proof of work, it's like you're assuming that like the majority of the miners are not going to like go back in time and start mining a different uncle chain. And proof of stake, you're assuming they're also not going to sign conflicting blocks essentially. But the beauty of sharing this common DA layer is that you don't have to spin up your own chain from scratch. So all of a sudden, you can have consensus and data availability, which is the root of the security of your chain, out of the box. And you can pool all those resources together rather than duplicating the effort and fragmenting the security.
Mantle, formerly known as BitDAO, is the first DAO-led Web3 ecosystem, all built on top of Mantle's first core product, the Mantle Network, a brand new high-performance Ethereum Layer 2 built using the OP stack, but uses EigenLayer's data availability solution instead of the expensive Ethereum Layer 1. Not only does this reduce Mantle Network's gas fees by 80%, but it also reduces gas fee volatility, providing a more stable foundation for Mantle's applications. The Mantle Treasury is one of the biggest DAO-owned treasuries, which is seeding an ecosystem of projects from all around the renewing its resource over and over and over again, faster and faster and faster, where Ethereum is like, really put a damper on how much new commodity that we are producing, because that's just what the nature of block space is.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And just a quick thing on like the pruning part, right? Which is that data availability is different to data storage. So like, people get mixed up. They're like, oh man, well, Celestia doesn't store its data beyond 21 days. I think that's what the pruning threshold is. But the reason for that is that data availability is about publishing and not about storing. And those are two different things. Yeah. It's sort of like like a newspaper publishes data and distributes it around the world, but you don't expect them to have the copy of the newspaper from 3 weeks ago, like when you go back and check it, because it's like, well, they already did their thing. If you need it, there's copies of that newspaper everywhere. Just go or go to a library and pull it out, because the libraries are storing it. And a library is more like a storage. But anyway, that's just a small aside.
Yeah, right. It's not the newspaper's job to retain the knowledge. Like, humanity does that.
Or understanding of why those were offline for as long as they were, and why, in fact, even beyond that year and a half, water samples in this area were testing with illegally high levels of arsenic. I was able to find back 16 years from today that there were samples of water being tested that violated.
They used to, we polluted the water or something, and it blew up the tank near the water or something, and it was polluted in that town. You fuck with.
The arsenic standards for safe drinking water. And it's just unclear why that wasn't addressed for so many years, and also why there wasn't a stricter crackdown, right, from the government agencies that are supposed to be regulating these utilities.
Yeah, isn't there a federal agency, the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency, that shouldn't they be stepping in to do something about these situations?
Right. And also the EPA grants the state what they call primacy, where the state's environmental department is supposed to be the one kind of...
It was into environment where the water, when you go into it with a canoe or something, and you can light it. What is it? With a fire. You can light the water with a fire into the fire, going to the little river with a canoe and light some. It's polluted. It's wrong. They're mining. They're not taking care of it. They're doing technology wrong up in the sky. Chemicals, particles, other that look like reptilian, aliens, gods, different, whatever. Fucking you with the water. In charge and monitoring, which is actually the case for New Mexico. So the New Mexico is the one who's gathering the data, and then it's also recorded by the EPA. And yeah, in both cases, they were, CRUA, the utility, was sent notices about their violation. They were sent different compliance-related letters, but there hadn't been a change, right? There was no sort of significant crackdown until maybe now, when in March, the state has issued a $251,000 fine to the utility. They arrived and did like an unannounced water sampling series of tests and found that 1 out of the 10 samples that they did, even now, 4 months after kind of all of this has exploded, still had illegally high levels of arsenic in it.
Wow.
So they've begun to kind of really crack down, but it's still unclear why all of this time the utility was not able to keep its arsenic levels under control.
And so Sylvia, when you approached the utility in charge in this community about this, what did they have to say?
They cited challenges in finding operators, which is not even just a statewide, but a national issue, is finding qualified water utility operators. They've also been having challenges with development. The area is growing tremendously. The water utility is still trying to address 58, quote, significant deficiencies that the state found when it completed an investigation of the utility. And so they are still trying to get through all of those. The interim executive director of the water utility said recently that they're just over 50% of the way there. They've also been required by the state to hand over a bunch of records and documents related to their water as the state continues to investigate them. And the utility has made other changes. Their notices are going out in Spanish. They're testing for arsenic twice a month now. The utility also says that they're adding new technology to be able to monitor the water's chemical and contaminant levels remotely. But they also told me they had to be careful about talking too much to me, because they did receive a tort claim, which is kind of the first step in a lawsuit, by a group of lawyers representing residents around this water issue. And so because of that reason, they basically said they wouldn't be able to tell me more.
And then were there any local officials, like town officials? Because obviously, there's federal, there's state, but the folks on the ground closest to the community, I would imagine,
It's a risk. But because of politics and industry pressure and other things that former EPA officials and other public health advocates talk to me about, the EPA kind of sets these standards, and that's how they are. So it actually even used to be higher. It used to be 50 parts per billion.
Wow.
Yeah, but there have been pushes to lower it even further, and they've been unsuccessful so far.
I mean, that's kind of wild to me because having this in the drinking water is linked clearly to an increased risk of certain types of cancers. And so why is any level acceptable? Like, what is exactly this pressure to not have as aggressive regulations around it? Is it the industry being the utility industry? Are they concerned about the cost? Is it just not feasible to completely remove this since it does naturally occur in a lot of places in the groundwater?
Yeah, you pretty much nailed it. So, water utilities have these larger associations and organizations that have been known in the past to kind of pressure the government and basically saying that like the cost would be really high, including actually elected officials too, who represent areas that have this naturally occurring.
So they're having problems with the water in America, are they? Wow. Well, we've got to go over here.
Five things every Christian should know about digital technology. 105.1 Life M. Bendigo. Digital technology saturates our lives: smartphones, social media, Google and Instagram. From teenagers to grandparents, we're all swimming in a digital sea. Over the past 3 decades, digital technologies have powerfully changed our lives. They are woven into the very way we understand and relate to the world around us. We are now a digital culture. We are no longer who and what we were just a few decades ago. 1. There's no doubt our lives have changed as a result of digital technology. And the likes of Apple, Google and Facebook have worked hard to tell us and sell us on the benefits. And there are benefits of that, there is no doubt, e.g. connecting with friends and family over social media. Life M. Bendigo is proudly supported by. But should we just trust what Silicon Valley tells us? Or is there more to digital technology than what the Zuckerbergs of the world are letting on? I think there's much more to digital technology than what the tech companies are telling us. And God's word is the lens through which we can explore these brave new tools sitting in our hands. So here are 5 things every Christian should know about digital technology. 1. What does God think of human technology? Technology is a gift from God, but it's been affected by the fall. The Bible has much to say about technology in general, which will help us better understand and evaluate digital technology. Let's take a look at what the key turning points in the Bible story reveal about technology. Creation. The Bible begins with God's command to Adam cultivate and keep the Garden of Eden. Gen 2:15. Although God made the garden, he intended for Adam to impact and change it. As author John Dyer points out, God created the garden not as an endpoint, but as a starting place. Adam's job was to take the raw materials of the earth from the wood of the trees, to the rocks on the ground, to the metal buried deep within the earth, and create new things from them. In a sense, Adam was to take the natural world, what God made, and fashion it into something else, something not entirely natural, but sanctioned by God. 2. Technology is the result of this creative process. Thus, technology is the human activity of using tools to shape God's creation for practical purposes. 3. Fall. But sadly, creation and humanity fell. And this fall had an impact on all of creation, including technology.
We see this clearly in the Tower of Babel, where humankind used the technology of building a tower for evil purposes, namely to live without God. As John Dyer again points out, technology is one of the chief means by which humans attempt to create a world without God. As our technology grows more and more powerful, the illusion of control becomes increasingly convincing. 4. Redemption in Christ. But the fall isn't the end of the story. God is in the process of redeeming creation and humanity from the fall. And he can redeem technology as well. So God uses technology throughout history to further his plan of salvation, whether it be saving Noah and his family through the Ark Gen 612-22, or using the technology of writing to disseminate his word, e.g. 1 John 1:4, 2:1-7, or through his people using the transport technology to take the gospel to the corners of the Roman Empire, e.g. Acts 13:4-5. But the ultimate example of God using technology for salvific purposes is through the brutal technology of the cross, John 19:16-18, 1 Cor 1:18. Furthermore, God affirms technology use as a way to mitigate the effects of our fallen world. For example, he gives Adam and Eve animal skins to cover their shame, Gen 3:21, and affirms the Israelites building of houses and grow crops while they're waiting for salvation from exile, Jer 29:4-14. But technology use is limited, as on its own cannot save us from death and judgment, Heb 9:27. New creation. The new creation is presented as a city, not built with our hands or technology, but built by God, Heb 11:10. Thus we must not put our ultimate hope in technology. In summary, God designed us to create and use technology, but technology has been affected by the fall. However, technology can still be used for useful purposes, proclaiming the gospel and doing good for others. But by itself, it cannot solve all our
Um, it cannot solve all our problems, but it can come from another dimension with another alien force power book, new ones that can be created for new ones, mind blowing UFO, ovnis, extraterrestrial, new God, new places, new angels, new fight, new power, all in the name of God.
problems, least of all our fractured relationship with God. 2. Technology is not value neutral, but shapes people according to its inbuilt values. Technology changes us as we use it. Technology is not value neutral, because embedded within technology are values which often aren't apparent at first that shape the user in various ways. This shaping can happen physically, intellectually, emotionally, and spiritually. For example, both cars and bicycles are forms of transport technology. But does a bicycle shape its user differently than a car? Just try riding to work for 6 months instead of driving a car to find out. Likewise, when it comes to digital technology, smartphones, and social media, such technology also shapes us in various ways, often without us realizing it. As author John Culkin wrote, we shape our tools and thereafter they shape us. 5. Now, to be clear, I'm not talking about the content you view through your digital screen. Yes, content matters, but the media matters just as much, and some might say even more. We'll see this as we unpack how digital tech shapes us. So then, how does digital technology shape us? What are its inbuilt values? I was cycling on the Gold Coast recently and noticed many Facebook adverts on local bus stops. Fake accounts are not our friends, read one advert. Data misuse is not our friend, read another. Evidently, Facebook wants you to know, or at least believe, that they care about you and your privacy. But there are things Facebook and Apple don't want you to know. Because if you knew these things, you would be more suspicious of digital technology and more careful how you use it, potentially hurting the tech company's bottom line. 3. What Apple doesn't put on its marketing. The unseen values of digital technology. So if all technology shapes its user because it's designed to perform particular actions in particular ways, according to the values of its designer, what are the values of digital technology? Here are some that astute observers have noted. Access to information. Google. Speed and immediacy. Think of how quickly you can search for anything. Constant connectivity. You can be reached wherever you are, be it the bedroom or the boardroom. Mediated identity. The virtual self you present to the world on social media. Mediated communication, communicating electronically via text, call, and social media. Now, these values will shape its users, i.e. you and me, as we'll see next. 4. Technology wears its benefits on its sleeves. But its drawbacks are buried deep within. Apple and Facebook market their products with all the potential benefits that smartphones and social media bring: a connection with loved ones, access to a world of information, entertainment, etc. And yes, there are benefits, don't hear me saying otherwise. In many ways, it's great that we can connect with others and share our lives online. However, there are also drawbacks to these values, which are unseen at first. But over time, these drawbacks become apparent. Here is some of the negative shaping that can happen. Access to information might lead us feeling overwhelmed with information overload. Speed and immediacy can lead to the habit of scanning information, damaging our capacity for deliberate reading. It is also distracting, taking our attention away from other important things, e.g., our work or real people. Mediated identity can lead to greater narcissism, as we take more time building and presenting a filtered online identity. Constant connectivity can be incredibly distracting, as you are bombarded with notifications and messages, whether at dinner time or work. Mediated communication can lead to shallower, more temporary relationships, as we cut down on the face-to-face time required to build deeper, long-term relationships. And of course, there are a whole host of other, negative ways that technology can shape us. Facebook use can increase your chances of depression. Unsolicited sexting, including among teenagers. The corrosive impact of mediated as opposed to face-to-face communication in teenagers. Increasingly hostile public discourse. And arguably growing polarization of society as the FB algorithm shows users content that they agree with, rather than differing points of view. So what's the solution? 5. The critical skill in our age of digital technology. Disciplined discernment. So what are we to do with technology? Should we ditch our smartphones and take a leaf out of the Amish playbook? Not necessarily. Technology is here to stay, and removing ourselves entirely from digital technology is neither desirable nor necessary. As we discussed, technology is part of God's design for humanity, even as it's affected by the fall. Thus, we need to cultivate the virtue of what Tim Challies calls disciplined discernment. In this approach of disciplined discernment, a Christian looks carefully at the new realities, ways, and evaluates them, and educates himself, thinking deeply about the potential consequences and effects of using a particular technology. Challies continues. Through it all, even as he is using a specific technology, he disciplines himself to be discerning, to embrace what can be embraced and to reject what needs to be rejected. 6. To put it another way, we discern the advantages and disadvantages of using a particular piece of technology. Then we make use of the advantages, while mitigating the disadvantages through disciplined use. For me, disciplined discernment has meant removing semi-addictive apps from my smartphone, so I'm no longer distracted by them, yes, including FB and Twitter. I turned off many app notifications, so I wasn't interrupted as I worked or shared life with others. And I make it a habit to keep parts of my life digital free: the dinner table, in the car with the family, and after 8 p.m. at night, an hour before I go to sleep. Furthermore, I no longer read the Bible from my smartphone. It's too easy to get distracted. Making these changes has allowed me to reap the many benefits of digital tech without being overly shaped by the negatives. Becoming digital disciples. Digital technology is here to stay. And there is much good that it brings. But if we're to become faithful digital disciples of the Lord Jesus Christ, and use technology for God's glory 1 Cor 10:31, then we do well to listen to technology theorist Neil Postman. We need to proceed with our eyes wide open, so that we may use technology rather than be used by it. 1 Tim Challies, The Next Story Faith, Friends, Family and the Digital World Grand Rapids, Me, Zondervan, 2015, Kindle edition, 190. 2 John Dyer, From the Garden to the City, The Redeeming and Corrupting Power of Technology, Grand Rapids, Me, Cradle Publications, 2011, Kindle edition. 741. 3 Challies, The Next Story, Challies, 369. 4 Dyer, From the Garden to the City, 1359. 5 John M. Culkin, A Schoolman's Guide to Marshall McLuhan, Saturday Review, March 18, 1967, p. 70. Quoted in Derek C. Sherman, Shaping a Digital World Faith, Culture and Computer Technology, Downers Grove, Eel, IV, 2013, 16. 6 Tim Challies, The Next Story Faith, Friends, Family and the Digital World, Grand Rapids, Me, Zondervan, 2015, Kindle edition, 296. Article supplied with thanks tokos below. About the author, Akos is the Executive Director of the Gospel Coalition Australia. He has a master's in theology and is a trained combat and aerospace engineer. How to Improve Your Mental Well-Being with Exercise 105.1 Life Them Bendigo. By Nicola Hodron. We are all familiar with the benefits of exercise for our physical health, but we often forget that exercise is one of the best things we can do to protect and improve our mental well-being. Exercise can ease depression, anxiety, and stress while boosting mood, cognitive function, and self-esteem. Plus, it's a chance to connect with others and have fun. When you exercise, your brain releases feel-good chemicals called endorphins. These are like natural mood boosters, helping to relieve stress and leave you feeling happier and more relaxed. But how do you create an exercise routine that works for you? Here are some ideas to get you started. 1. Understand barriers. Figure out what's holding you back, like time, energy, or motivation, and brainstorm solutions. For example, if you can't squeeze in a full 30-minute workout, break it into smaller chunks throughout the day. Life Bendigo is proudly supported by 2. Find what you enjoy. Pick activities that you actually like doing. There's no point pushing yourself to do something you get no satisfaction from. Whether it's yoga, dancing, cycling, playing sports, or going for a hike, the key is to choose something that is enjoyable and gives you a sense of achievement. Notice which types of activities leave you feeling good about yourself. 3. Start small. You don't need to run a marathon or spend hours in the gym to reap the benefits of exercise. Even small amounts of physical activity have been shown to be beneficial for mental health. Start with small, manageable goals, like taking a 20-minute walk every day. As you build up your fitness level, gradually increase the intensity and duration of your workouts. 4. Make it social. Exercise doesn't have to be a solo activity. Grab a friend or family member and make it a group affair. Not only does exercising with others make it more fun, but it also provides an extra layer of accountability and motivation. 5. Mix it up. Variety is the spice of life, right? Keep things interesting by mixing up your workouts. Try different activities to challenge your body and prevent boredom. One day you might go for a swim, the next you might. How to improve your mental well-being with exercise 105.1 Life Bendigo. By Nicola Hodron. We are all familiar with the benefits of exercise for our physical health, but we often forget that exercise is one of the best things we can do to protect and improve our mental well-being. Exercise can ease depression, anxiety, and stress while boosting mood, cognitive function, and self-esteem. Plus, it's a chance to connect with others and have fun. When you exercise, your brain releases feel-good chemicals called endorphins. These are like natural mood boosters, helping to relieve stress and leave you feeling happier and more relaxed. But how do you create an exercise routine that works for you? Here are some ideas to get you started. 1. Understand barriers. Figure out what's holding you back, like time, energy, or motivation, and brainstorm solutions. For example, if you can't squeeze in a full 30-minute workout, break it into smaller chunks throughout the day. Life Bendigo is proudly supported by 2. Find what you enjoy. Pick activities that you actually like doing. There's no point pushing yourself to do something you get no satisfaction from. Whether it's yoga, dancing, cycling, playing sports, or going for a hike, the key is to choose something that is enjoyable and gives you a sense of achievement. Notice which types of activities leave you feeling good about yourself. 3. Start small. You don't need to run a marathon or spend hours in the gym to reap the benefits of exercise. Even small amounts of physical activity have been shown to be beneficial for mental health. Start with small, manageable goals, like taking a 20-minute walk every day. As you build up your fitness level, gradually increase the intensity and duration of your workouts. 4. Make it social. Exercise doesn't have to be a solo activity. Grab a friend or family member and make it a group affair. Not only does exercising with others make it more fun, but it also provides an extra layer of accountability and motivation. 5. Mix it up. Variety is the spice of life, right? Keep things interesting by mixing up your workouts. Try different activities to challenge your body and prevent boredom. One day you might go for a swim, the next you might try a kickboxing class. The possibilities are endless. It's important to note that while exercise is beneficial for mental health, it's not a substitute for professional treatment. In addition to incorporating exercise into their routine, people experiencing mental health difficulties may need extra support from mental health professionals. Article supplied with thanks Toth Center for Effective Living. Feature image, photo by Jonathan Bourbounion Splash. How to be a mindful Muslim, an exercise in Islamic meditation, Yaqeen Institute for Islamic Research. Introduction. How can we have more control over our thoughts in this time of information overload and anxiety? Exercising mindfulness or muraqabah can help discipline our minds in order to handle the current situation and focus on our connection with Allah. I in the name of Allah, the Gracious, the Merciful. Modern life involves a daily bustle of noise, distraction, and information overload. Our senses are constantly stimulated from every direction to the point that a simple moment of quiet stillness seems impossible for some of us. This continuous agitation hinders us from getting the most out of each moment, subtracting from the quality of our prayers and our ability to remember Allah. We all know that we need more presence in prayer, more control over our wandering minds and desires. But what exactly can we do to achieve this? How can we become more mindful in all aspects of our lives? Spiritual and temporal. That is where the practice of exercising mindfulness, in the Islamic context of muraqabah, can help train our minds to become more disciplined and can thereby enhance our regular worship and daily activities. This article examines.
Wait up, wait up, wait up, wait up. Oh, can't see it, Hector. Murakana, what it was. So we won. Oh,
This audio file has been generated using artificial intelligence technology. Please note that due to the name.
oh, fuck that.
How to be a mindful Muslim, an exercise in Islamic meditation, Yaqeen Institute for Islamic. Introduction. How can we have more control over our thoughts in this time of information overload and anxiety? Exercising mindfulness or muraqabah.
What you do, bro? What are you doing? What do you want me to do?
How to be a mindful Muslim, an exercise in Islamic meditation, Yaqeen Institute for Islamic Research. Introduction. How can we have more control over our thoughts in this time of information overload and anxiety?
So we gotta copy that bit. That word. That word there. Copy. No.
How to perform Merkaba. 8 steps with pictures Wikiao. Download article. X. Wikia is a wiki, similar to Wikipedia, which means that many of our articles are co-written by multiple authors. To create this article, 9 people, some anonymous, worked to edit and improve it over time. Wikia marks an article as reader approved once it receives enough positive feedback. In this case, 92% of readers who voted found the article helpful, earning it our reader approved status. This article has been viewed. Learn more. Muraqabah is an Arabic word for meditation, usually a variety performed in Sufi Islam. Muraqabah is slightly different from meditation. Muraqabah is an Arabic word for meditation, usually a variety performed in Sufi Islam. Muraqabah is slightly different from meditation, since it is a religious practice, while meditation is for the peace of mind. Prophet Muhammad performed this practice when he retreated to the cave of Hira. This article will tell you how to perform this muraqabah. 1. Prepare your surroundings. They play an important role in keeping
What the
attention
hell?
at something. Curiosity.
What the hell? What are you telling me done, you fuckwit? What are you doing, you fucking idiot? What are you fucking up, mate? Fucking up. Fucking drunk cunt. Fuckwit.
Is in the nature of a human. Which is why you probably look at an item with interest when you are
You
bored,
fucking up
even if you've
again.
seen it many times. To maintain attention during a muraqabah, try placing yourself in a room void of any furniture. This way your mind won't keep wandering to various objects lying around. When you find that there is nothing to look at, and nothing to fiddle with, your mind will automatically suggest you to perform your muraqabah easily. Turn off the lights if that makes it easier, or you can cover your face with the same fabric that covers your head. Keep the fan on, since the exercise can make you feel warm. 2. Maintain a comfortable sitting position. Otherwise, your brain will find your discomfort to focus at, and you won't be able to pay much attention to your muraqabah. An ideal position is sitting cross-legged with a pillow as a backrest. There isn't any restriction on what way you sit. However, everybody finds their own complacent manner of seating themselves. Sit in a way you won't have to squirm around much in. Avoid hard-backed chairs since they are very unsettling.
This sounds fucking incredible. Fuck off, cunt. Get out of fucking life.
Unsettling. 3. Close your eyes. This is preferable, but it depends on whether you can pay attention with your eyes open or not. If even closing your eyes isn't of much help, then cover your eyes with whatever is suitable minus sunglasses, a piece of cloth or anything that you fancy. 4.
I love you, God. I love you, God. I love you, God.
4. Contemplate. During a meditation, you have to simply relax yourself. In a muraqabah, you relax your
Extraterrestrial God. Extraterrestrial God. Another planet. Mind blowing. Fuck up a God. A fucking extra heaven. Jesus Christ.
yourself as well, but in a different way. We have to think of it religiously, not
YouTube, God, setting, God, setting, God, AI, algorithm, exercise your mind, dick, body, sex, boom, blasting, sport, punch him out, love you, God, any God.
not in a worldly manner, not exactly for the peace of mind, but for bonding with Allah. 5. Start by thinking about all the creations by God Allah. Think of His blessings, things in which He has helped you out. His mercy and forgiveness, when we turned to repent. This brings pleasure to your heart for Him, which is the first step in starting a muraqabah. 6. Proceed by thinking that Allah's luminosity is entering your heart. This, however, cannot be done directly. For this purpose, think of Allah's luminosity as infiltrating into your being through the last prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. You can consider it as a bright glow, entering your heart and slowly spreading through your body. 7. Stay in this sensation for little time minus at first. Your body needs to be well aired, since the Muraqabah is a mental workout that introduces warmth to your being. At the beginning, keep the time less since you can cause harm to your body if you stay in this consciousness for a prolonged period of time. Start by 3.5 minutes. Do it every day, for a week, until 3.5 minutes starts to seem less and your body isn't heated up after Muraqabah. Increase your time up to 5 minutes. Do it for a week or till you feel that 5 minutes is normal routine. Keep increasing the time, but stop at half an hour. 8. Do not drink water immediately after you've done it. There is usually an intense craving for water once you've finished the exercise, but that has to wait. Eat some foods which are at a normal temperature, or if not, wait for 10 minutes before you drink water. It isn't essentially water that you have to avoid after a Muraqabah, but any type of drink minus which registers at a high temperature or a low one. Add new question. Question. Can you cite a specific text from the Quran or authentic sunnah that supports this practice? A lot of Sufi practices stem from the idea of tazkiyah, meaning purification, specifically tazkiyah nafs, or purification of the soul. The Quran says, prosperous is he who purifies tazkiyah, it the soul, and failed has he who seduces it. 91.9. Ask a question. 200 characters left. Include your email address to get a message when this question is answered. Submit. Start trying to add it in everyday routine. In simple words, try maintaining your attention at the task you are doing, but divert it to Muraqabah from time to time. Once you start concentrating on it while you're working, you can do it anywhere at any time. You can drink water after it as well, since your full attention isn't exactly directed towards Muraqabah. It can help if you ask a friend or a family member to do the exercise with you. Show more tips. Thanks for submitting a tip for review. Drinking after Muraqabah is similar to drinking after a heavy workout, with similar effects. Do not turn on the heater, even if it is cold. Muraqabah will provide your body the warmth that it needs. Don't do Muraqabah for half an hour straight away. It can cause overheating from your normal body temperature. Do not allow anyone to disturb you while performing Muraqabah. It can make you feel extremely cranky and you may feel temporary bodily pains. Thanks to all authors for creating a page that has been read 62,716 times. Did this article help you? Sandra Sully accidentally calls Pauline Hanson a rapist in mortifying live TV. bloopernews.com.au, Australia's leading news site. TV veteran Sandra Sully has been forced to correct herself during a live broadcast after an unfortunate slip of the tongue when announcing Pauline Hanson's court battle. While reading the Monday evening edition of 10 News First, Sully accidentally said Senator Hanson was fighting claims she was a rapist instead of racist in her current court battle with Green Senator Mehreen Faruqi. Plus, Pauline Hanson in court, she said. Why the One Nation leader has been forced to fight claims that she is a rapist. Racist, I apologize. And correct, racist. Senator Hanson is involved in a federal court case where she is defending her words after telling Senator Faruqi to ****s off back to Pakistan. Rapist, Sandra Sully's shock on air gaffe. Video player is loading. Beginning of dialogue window. Escape will cancel and close the window. Text color transparency. Background color transparency. Window.
Player of the day, Rory Sabatini might be used to seeing a bit of big game wildlife back in his home country of South Africa, but he wasn't too happy when a kangaroo interrupted his opening round at the Australian PGA Championship at Coolum. Strange, you might think, but would you want to get close to an animal that had just finished doing this? Shot in the media, this par 5. Thank you, Aussie, well done.
I can't go on.
Who said player of the day?
I can't go on. We opened the show with the Travelling Wilburys with Kevin 07 going to Brisbane, and you end the show right. Cloudy in Cairns and 32. I don't think I'll forgive you. And Canberra, late thunder in Sydney, Darwin and the Alice.
Whoa, what are you doing? Fucking hell, bro.
Has been forced to fight claims that she is a rapist. Racist, I apologise, and correct, racist. Plus, Pauline Hanson in court. Why the One Nation leader has been forced to fight claims that she is a rapist. Racist, I apologise, and correct, racist.
French actor Depardieu to be tried for sexual assault in October. News.com.au, Australia's leading news site. French screen legend Gerard Depardieu will go on trial for sexual assault in October. The Paris prosecutor said on Monday after police questioned the actor over claims made by two women, the latest in a litany of such charges. The 75-year-old star, who has made more than 200 films and television series, was charged with rape in 2020 in a separate case and was forced to put his career on hold last autumn as allegations of sexual harassment and assault mounted against him. He denies any wrongdoing. After police questioned Depardieu on Monday, the Paris prosecutor said Depardieu would face charges in October 2024 over the assaults allegedly committed in September 2021 during the filming of the Green Shutters movie. Gerard Depardieu was given a summons to appear before the criminal court for sexual assaults likely to have been committed in September 2021 to the detriment of two victims on the set of the film. The Green Shutters said a statement. Earlier, a police source said Depardieu was to be questioned over allegations from two women that he assaulted them on film sets. One in 2021 and the other in 2014. He was released following the questioning, Depardieu's lawyer Christian St. Palais told reporters. The first woman accuses Depardieu of assaulting her when she was a member of the crew on the 2022 feature film, The Green Shutters. The set designer, who filed a formal complaint in February, told investigative website Mediapart that Depardieu grabbed her as she left the set in a private hotel in Paris. She alleged he groped her waist and stomach, moving up to her breasts and made obscene comments before his bodyguards removed him. The woman's lawyer, Corinne de Rier-Diebolt, declined to provide AFP with further details. The second woman has alleged Depardieu groped her all over and made inappropriate remarks, while she was an assistant on the set of 2015 film Leon Magician. Et le Siamois the Magician and the Siamese, she told regional newspaper Leon, Corpria der Elswist. Rape charge minus. Depardieu already faces a rape charge, as well as claims of assault from more than a dozen women, all of which he has strongly denied. Never ever have I abused a woman, Depardieu wrote in Lyon Figaro newspaper in October. Police in 2020 charged Depardieu with rape and sexual assault after actor Charlotte Arnold alleged he raped her in 2018, when she was 22 and anorexic. Another sexual assault complaint filed last year by actor Hélène Darroze, who said Depardieu groped and propositioned her during a 2007 film shoot, has been dropped for being past the statute of limitations. Spanish journalist and author Ruth Barza said in December she had filed a criminal complaint in her home country against Depardieu, alleging he raped her in 1995 in Paris. Despite the events having passed the statute of limitations, she said she decided to file her complaint in the hope that it would help other people to do the same. Depardieu had long made headlines for antics, such as socializing with the leaders of Russia and Belarus, obtaining a Russian passport to protest against a planned tax hike in France, and delaying a 2011 flight after urinating into a bottle that overflowed. But debate over whether to show his films intensified at the end of last year, after a television report showed the actor repeatedly making obscene comments in the presence of a woman interpreter during a 2018 trip to North Korea. His wax sculpture was hurriedly removed from the Musée Grevin Waxwork Museum in Paris, and Canada's Quebec region stripped him of its top honor. Minus salacious nonsense minus. Actor Annick Grinberg, a co-star with Depardieu on The Green Shutters, has described how she and others on set were treated to his salacious nonsense from morning to night. When film producers hire Depardieu on a film, they know they are hiring an aggressor, she told AFP. Grinberg said producers of The Green Shutters had supposedly appointed someone to deal with harassment issues, but that she did nothing. French cinema has in recent months been rocked by allegations that it has shrugged off sexism and sexual abuse for decades. Depardieu's case has exposed a major split in French cinema and wider society, with some defending his right to the presumption of innocence and others supporting his accusers. President Emmanuel Macron sparked an outcry in December when he defended the immense actor as innocent until proven guilty, and insinuated he was the victim of a manhunt. Macron later added that he should have emphasized the importance of women speaking up. Actor Judith Godrèche, 52, has become a leading voice in France's Me Too movement after accusing 2 film directors of abusing her as an underage teenager. Speaking in the upper house of parliament in February, she urged the authorities to reform the French cinema industry to protect young female actors from sexual violence. TLLAIH/JH/Yad/Rocks. iOS 17 update, new features available on Apple iPhone from September 19th. News.com.au, Australia's leading news site. An avalanche of new Apple products and shiny new iPhones are coming to stores this Friday. But if your old iPhone is still perfectly fine, or you haven't been tempted by the promise of faster chips and USB-C chargers, then don't despair. Your phone will look shiny and new this week too, thanks to the new iPhone operating system, iOS 17- being available to download from Tuesday. Here are the biggest and best new features for you to look out for. Mental health. The Health app will now let you keep track of your mental health by asking you up to a couple of times each day to log how you're feeling in the moment and why. This is helpful not just so you can take a moment to be mindful and check in with yourself, but also lets you see trends. Like whether you feel better on days when you get more sleep or do more exercise. There's also a mental health questionnaire that can give you an indication of your depression and anxiety risk. And then give you helpline numbers and articles to help you find treatment, if necessary. Check in. Let me know when you get home. Safe is such a beautiful thing for someone to say. It's shorthand for, I love and care about you and want to make sure you're okay. However, it's also really easy to just completely forget to let your friend/mum/partner know when you get home safe, because life happens so much. That's why Apple has introduced a new feature called Check-in, which will automatically send a notification to a nominated person when you get home safe. More than that, if you stop making progress on your way to your destination, it'll check in with you. And if you don't respond, it'll send helpful information to the other person, such as your location, battery level and mobile connection status of your iPhone. Audio message transcription. We all have that one friend who sends lots of voice messages in the group chat. Now, you can find out the gossip without having to pause your music. Because there's a new audio message transcription feature. Stickers. Stickers are great in messages because they can either express your emotions more clearly than emoji, or just be used to really annoy your brother in new and exciting ways. Now, you can create custom stickers from your photos and easily use them in messages. Did your dog do something cute that would make a good reaction to this text from your coworker? Or did your mate do something hilariously stupid that you got a photo of, and now you can haunt him with it forever through the language of sticker? The possibilities are endless. Contact posters. Choose how to present yourself when calling or sharing your contact with someone through contact posters. You can put a picture of yourself or use a memoji, paired it with your preferred font. And then make sure your name is never misspelled in other people's phones again. AirDrop is better now. Before, whenever you wanted to airdrop something to someone, you had to work out what they'd named their phone in the AirDrop menu. And then keep your phones close until the transfer was done. Now, you just bring the two phones close to each other, the other person presses accept. And then you can disappear into the night, while AirDrop continues to drop over the air. Other cool stuff. There will be a journal app coming later this year that's integrated with your photos and other apps. You can collaborate on playlists in music to democratize your road trip music. Then there's offline maps. The ability to look up similar recipes based on photos of food, lockdown mode if you think you're being hacked, and more. iOS 17 is available to download for free from Tuesday, September 19th. Read related topics. Apple. Digital payments, checks being phased out as Apple Google Pay on Rise, news.com.au, Australia's leading news site. The Albanese government is taking steps to regulate digital payment wallets, like Google Pay and Apple Pay, in the same way other payment methods are managed. But it's also the next step in the phasing out of check payments, as flagged by Treasurer Jim Chalmers in a speech in June. The draft legislation, announced on Tuesday, would allow the Reserve Bank (RBA) to regulate new and emerging digital payment services, which the federal government claims will protect consumers, promote competition, and spur innovation. As payments increasingly become digital, our payment system needs to remain fit for purpose so that it delivers for consumers and small businesses. Drive. Chalmers said. We want to make sure the shift to digital payments occurs in a way that promotes greater competition, innovation, and productivity across our entire economy. Public consultation for amendments to the payment systems
I've seen 3 different ways to pay. One was on the phone, was twice on the phone, different website and wallets and SIP cards and other from Google Play Store that you can put on your apps and on your phone, and you can pay from there because you put all your details in the apps, and then you got into it and the apps was paying, and you can put your phone onto the ATM and get money out and all this stuff, pay with your card and all that.
Newsroom Archive SIP Co. Limited. SIP is excited to announce the launch of an exclusive partnership with Moshtix, providing customers with greater choice and control over how they pay for live music and events. The exclusive partnership sees SIP and Moshtix customers able to access tickets for some of Australia and New Zealand's hottest festivals and live music events, with fairer, more flexible payment options. With a long hot summer already in full swing here, it's the perfect time to snap up tickets or gift them to family or mates. With hotly anticipated festivals on sale now such as Groovin, the Moo events in Australia and Rhythm and Vines events in New Zealand. As part of SIP's ever-growing presence in the entertainment and ticketing space, we are thrilled to announce our partnership with Moshtix in Australia and New Zealand, offering customers transparent and fairer payment options for standout live music and events experiences that we all love. Peter Gray, co-founder and CEO of SIP, earns. The addition of SIP to all Moshtix events will offer huge benefits to our event partners and their fans across Australia and New Zealand, by providing them the opportunity to purchase tickets instantly with a flexible payment option. At Moshtix, our mission has always been to remove the barriers between fans and the artist and to make live easy. And we really believe this partnership will deliver that, by giving our fans the flexibility to purchase more tickets. We are helping event organizers welcome more fans through their doors. Harley Evans, Moshtix Managing Director. About SIP. ASX listed SIP Co. Limited. ASX, SIP, is a digital financial services company offering innovative, people-centered products that bring customers and merchants together. Operating in 2 core markets, Australia and New Zealand and the Americas, SIP offers point-of-sale credit and digital payment services, connecting millions of customers with its global network of tens of thousands of merchants. Founded in Australia in 2013, SIP provides fair, flexible and transparent payment options, helping customers to take control of their financial future and helping merchants to grow their businesses. SIP is also a licensed and regulated credit provider and is committed to responsible lending. For more information, visit www.sip.co. About Moshtix. Moshtix is an industry-leading bid ticketing provider specializing in live music and entertainment events. Launched in 2003, our longevity is based around our industry leading technology that caters for self-service, full-service, and white-label offerings. Backed by a team of highly experienced industry professionals. We work with some of the country's most iconic festivals and live music venues, as well as providing ticketing and marketing services to the dance music, comedy, cinema, arts and culture and entertainment sectors nationally. The Moshtix platform provides a seamless connection between our clients, ticket buyers and the artist, at a fair price to help people discover, share and experience the live entertainment they love. In 2019, Moshtix became a Ticketmaster company, part of Live Nation Entertainment NICE, Live, the world's leading live entertainment company, comprised of global market leaders, Ticketmaster, Live Nation Concerts, and Live Nation Media and Sponsorship. For more information, visit www.moshtix. Newsroom Archive SIP Co. Limited. SIP is excited to announce the launch of an exclusive partnership with Moshtix, providing customers with greater choice and control over how they pay for live music and events. The exclusive partnership sees SIP and Moshtix customers able to access tickets for some of Australia and New Zealand's hottest festivals and live music events, with fairer, more flexible payment options. With a long hot summer already in full swing here, it's the perfect time to snap up tickets or gift them to family or mates. With hotly anticipated festivals on sale now such as Groovin, the Moo events in Australia and Rhythm and Vines events in New Zealand. As part of SIP's ever-growing presence in the entertainment and ticketing space. Offering co-founder and CEO of SIPans. The addition of SIP to all Moshtix events will offer huge benefits to our event partners and their fans across Australia and New Zealand. By providing them the opportunity to purchase tickets instantly with a flexible payment option. At Moshtix, our mission has always been to remove the barriers between fans and the artist and to make live easy. And we really believe this partnership will deliver that. By giving our fans the flexibility to purchase more tickets, we are helping event organizers welcome more fans through their doors. Harley Evans, Moshtix Managing Director. About SIP. ASX listed SIP Co. Limited. ASX, SIP, is a digital financial services company offering innovative, people-centered products that bring customers and merchants together. Operating in two core markets, Australia and New Zealand and the Americas. Terms and conditions, SIP UK. Thanks for visiting our website and considering the use of our services and products. This page sets out the terms and conditions that apply to our provision of our products and services and sets out the agreement between you and us when you sign up for a SIP account and use our products and services agreement. The agreement includes the installment plan that you enter into when you make a purchase using our products and services, described in more detail in Section 2 below Installment Plan. Please read the agreement carefully. By clicking to accept these terms and conditions, you agree to the terms of the agreement. Please note that these terms and conditions may change from time to time, and you should always check this page every time you use our products and services. Please note that the version of these terms and conditions that applied at the time you used our products and services to make a purchase and entered into an installment plan with us will apply to that particular installment plan. We care about your privacy. For information about how we use your personal information, please see our privacy policy. 1. WHO is this agreement between we or us? SIP Co-Finance Limited, trading as SIP. You, the customer. 2. What makes up our agreement? 2.1 Our agreement is made up of these terms and conditions and your installment plan. What's your installment plan? This is the fortnightly payment plan in respect of a transaction with a SIP partner retailer, showing the amounts you owe us including any default fees and payment due dates. You can find this on our platforms. What's our platform? These are the platforms developed by us where you submit your details, e.g. your card details, and can find information on your installment plan. 2.2 The agreement will continue until you've repaid everything you owe us and your SIP account has been closed. 3.1 If we need to get in touch with you, we'll either call or text your mobile number or use the email address you've provided. You must tell us if your details change. 3.2 You can contact us by submitting a contact form or by post at SIP Co-Finance UK Limited, 82 St John Street, London, Quan M4JN, UK. 4. How SIP works. Setting up your account. 4.1 You'll need to have an account and register a card to pay with SIP. Every time you add a card to your account, we'll pre-authorize your account to check it's valid. Once it's been successfully added to your account, we'll ask your bank to release the pre-authorization. What does pre-authorize mean? This means we place a hold on an amount on your card to check you have funds available to pay it. Note, we can't control the time it takes your bank to cancel a pre-authorization on your card. This usually takes less than an hour, but it may be longer depending on the bank and whether it's a weekend or public holiday. 4.2 For individual transactions to pay with SIP partner retailers, you will apply for a new and separate installment plan each time. If we approve your application, each time you enter into a new installment plan through our platform, you'll enter into a new agreement with us. We explain how applications work at paragraph 5.1 below. 4.3 For purchases with some retailers, you will see the option to apply to pay with SIP at the checkout. For others, you will have to access the option to pay with SIP by choosing a retailer and making your purchase through the SIP app. B. Your agreement with the retailer. 4.4 The products or services you've purchased are subject to a separate agreement between you. SIP Pay and SIP Money Buy Now Pay Later, flexible payments. Spend your day with SIP. Spend your day with SIP. Buy now. Pay later. Just a boot for you. 4.9. App Store rating. Millions of shoppers globally and counting. SIP makes life more affordable by spreading the costs of your purchases over time. You'll pay nothing up front and repay weekly, fortnightly or monthly on a schedule that suits you. So you can spend with confidence, knowing you're in control of tomorrow. SIP accounts. Everyday account, interest-free. Enjoy $350 minus $1,000 to spend instantly once approved. 1 Sign up now. Bigger purchases account. Get a minimum of 3 months interest-free on every purchase, always. 2 Sign up now. For your everyday. There's SIP Pay. For your everyday. There's SIP Pay. Apply for up to $1,000 to spend, interest-free always. SIP Pay helps you navigate day-to-day life with ease by spreading the cost of your purchases over time. You'll pay nothing up front and repay weekly, fortnightly or monthly on a schedule that suits you, with no interest ever. With SIP, you're more in control of whatever comes your way. For your not so everyday, there's SIP Money. For your not so everyday, there's SIP Money. Apply for up to $5,000 credit to help you pay for your next step in life every step of the way. For the expected and unexpected. For renovations and celebrations. With a minimum 3 months, interest-free on every purchase and up to 5 years interest-free at select SIP merchants, SIP Money is there for you when you need it the most. Repayment flexibility. We're not like the others. We'll bundle your purchases and let you align your repayments to suit your pay cycle. Repay on a convenient weekly, fortnightly or monthly schedule. Problem with a purchase? No problem. Shop safely with SIP, and if something goes wrong with your purchase, doesn't arrive, or is significantly not as described, don't stress. We're here to support you throughout the refund process with our buyer protection policy. Eligibility and exclusions apply. View buyer protection details. Earn instant cashback. Not only are we flexible, we're rewarding too. Earn instant cashback when shopping at our rewards partners. Download the SIP app to browse and activate our range of offers * shop cashback offers. All your purchases. All the ways to pay. All spread over time. Tap to pay with SIP Pay. Add SIP Pay to your phone's digital wallet to use everywhere Visa is accepted **. Choose SIP at checkout. Speed through checkout at over 52,000 SIP merchants. Use a single-use card. Gone are the days of finding your wallet. Create virtual payment cards for one-time use and never share your card details again. The safe, secure and private way to pay online **. Pay BPay registered sign billers. Pay your bills and repay us on a schedule that suits you, spreading the cost over time. 3. All this and lots more. All inside the SIP app. Loved by millions of shoppers globally and counting. Best buy now pay later option available. Out of all the buy now pay later companies, SIPay has the most option available for using in-store and online, having the create temporary card feature and Apple Wallet tap and pay features. Verified. In love with SIPay. I wish I could give them more than 5 stars. Lucky to be born in the world of Zip, helped me get through many difficult times. Thank you so much SIPay. I love you. Verified. Very helpful in need. SIP is very helpful when you don't have money in your savings or credit card. Installment payments are very flexible. Verified. SIP is the best among them. I've used all the other platforms, and I think none is close to SIP. The flexibility and unlimited nature of transactions from BPay to credit card to in-app purchasing. None of the others come near to it. Verified. Just love knowing I have SIP. I feel I have my own independence being able to have a system like SIP. I can purchase items I love for myself and for others too. To be able to pay back what I can afford without breaking the budget. Verified. I can use this anywhere. Literally in store or online, virtually on any, well, almost kind of purchase. Verified. Always there. If find SIP really easy to use and always there when I need them. Hassle-free and paying back is easy too. Verified. Convenient and helpful. When purchased big ticket item, it's so convenient to pay by SIPay because can be paid back by installment without interest or a fee. Frequently asked questions. SIPay is an interest-free buy now pay later service with a credit limit of up to $10,001. Repayments are based on a minimum monthly payment from as little as $10 per week. A $9.95 monthly account fee applies. We will waive the fee if you pay your statement, closing balance in full, by the due date. With SIPay, you can shop everywhere you see the contactor symbol when you add your SIP card to your Apple or Google Wallet ***. SIP Money is a line of credit, with credit limits between $1,000 and $5,000 for regular accounts, and up to $50,000 for specific merchants. SIP Money offers customers a guaranteed interest-free period of 3 months across all products and up to 36 months with some retailers too. SIP Money accounts may incur a one-off establishment fee for certain credit limits. A $9.95 monthly account fee applies. Both products also feature our Shop Everywhere card, which you can use at any online retailer that accepts Visa ***. Can't find what you're looking for? Get all the support you need when you need it by exploring the Help Center or by contacting our team at SIP HQ in Sydney. References: Apple Pay and the Apple App Store are trademarks of Apple Incorporated, registered in the US and other countries and regions. Google Pay, Google Play and the Google Play logo are trademarks of Google LLC. Visa is a trademark owned by Visa International Service Association and used under license. The contactless symbol is a trademark owned by and used with permission of EMCO LLC. SIP Pay and SIP Money Buy Now Pay Later, flexible payments. Spend your day with SIP. Spend your day with SIP. Buy now. Pay later. Just a boot for you. 4.9. App Store rating. Millions of shoppers globally and counting. SIP makes life more affordable by spreading the costs of your purchases over time. You'll pay nothing up front and repay weekly, fortnightly or monthly on a schedule that suits you. So you can spend with confidence, knowing you're in control of tomorrow. SIP accounts. Everyday account, interest-free. Enjoy $350 minus $1,000 to spend instantly once approved. Point 1 Sign up now. Bigger purchases account. Get a minimum of 3 months interest-free on every purchase. Always. Point 2 Sign up now. For your everyday. There's SIP Pay. For your everyday. There's SIP Pay. Apply for up to $1,000 to spend, interest-free always. SIP Pay helps you navigate day-to-day life with ease by spreading the cost of your purchases over time. You'll pay nothing up front and repay weekly, fortnightly or monthly on a schedule that suits you, with no interest ever. With SIP, you're more in control of whatever comes your way. For your not-so-everyday, there's SIP Money. For your not-so-everyday, there's SIP Money. Apply for up to $5,000 credit to help you pay for your next step in life every step of the way. For the expected and unexpected. For renovations and celebrations. With a minimum 3 months, interest-free on every purchase and up to 5 years interest-free at select SIP merchants, SIP Money is there for you when you need it the most. Repayment flexibility. We're not like the others. We'll bundle your purchases and let you align your repayments to suit your pay cycle. Repay on a convenient weekly, fortnightly or monthly schedule. Problem with a purchase? No problem. Shop safely with SIP, and if something goes wrong with your purchase, doesn't arrive, or is significantly not as described, don't stress. We're here to support you throughout the refund process with our buyer protection policy. Eligibility and exclusions apply. View buyer protection details. Earn instant cashback. Not only are we flexible, we're rewarding too. Earn instant cashback when shopping at our rewards partners. Download the SIP app to browse and activate our range of offers * shop cashback offers. All your purchases. All the ways to pay. All spread over time. Tap to pay with SIP Pay. Add SIP Pay to your phone's digital wallet to use everywhere Visa is accepted ***. Choose SIP at checkout. Speed through checkout at over 52,000 SIP merchants. Use a single-use card. Gone are the days of finding your wallet. Create virtual payment cards for one-time use and never share your card details again. The safe, secure and private way to pay online ***. Pay BPay registered sign billers. Pay your bills and repay us on a schedule that suits you, spreading the cost over time. Point 3. All this and lots more. All inside the SIP app. Loved by millions of shoppers globally and counting. Best buy now pay later option available. Out of all the buy now pay later companies, SIPay has the most option available for using in-store and online, having the create temporary card feature and Apple Wallet tap and pay features. Verified. In love with SIPay. I wish I could give them more than 5 stars. Lucky to be born in the world of Zip, helped me get through many difficult times. Thank you so much SIPay. I love you. Verified. Very helpful in need. SIP is very helpful when you don't have money in your savings or credit card. Installment payments are very flexible. Verified. SIP is the best among them. I've used all the other platforms, and I think none is close to SIP. The flexibility and unlimited nature of transactions from BPay to credit card to in-app purchasing. None of the others come near to it. Verified. Just love knowing I have SIP. I feel I have my own independence being able to have a system like SIP. I can purchase items I love for myself and for others too. To be able to pay back what I can afford without breaking the budget. Verified. I can use this anywhere. Literally in store or online, virtually on any, well, almost kind of purchase. Verified. Always there. If find SIP really easy to use and always there when I need them. Hassle-free and paying back is easy too. Verified. Convenient and helpful. When purchased big ticket item, it's so convenient to pay by SIPay because can be paid back by installment without interest or a fee. Frequently asked questions. SIPay is an interest-free buy now pay later service with a credit limit of up to $10,001. Repayments are based on a minimum monthly payment from as little as $10 per week. A $9.95 monthly account fee applies. We will waive the fee if you pay your statement, closing balance in full, by the due date. With SIPay, you can shop everywhere you see the contactor symbol when you add your SIP card to your Apple or Google Wallet ***. SIP Money is a line of credit, with credit limits between $1,000 and $5,000 for regular accounts, and up to $50,000 for specific merchants. SIP Money offers customers a guaranteed interest-free period of 3 months across all products and up to 36 months with some retailers too. SIP Money accounts may incur a one-off establishment fee for certain credit limits. A $9.95 monthly account fee applies. Both products also feature our Shop Everywhere card, which you can use at any online retailer that accepts Visa ***. Can't find what you're looking for? Get all the support you need when you need it by exploring the Help Center or by contacting our team at SIP HQ in Sydney. References: Apple Pay and the Apple App Store are trademarks of Apple Incorporated, registered in the US and other countries and regions. Google Pay, Google Play and the Google Play logo are trademarks of Google LLC. Visa is a trademark owned by Visa International Service Association and used under license. The contactor symbol is a trademark owned by and used with permission of EMCO LLC. One SIPay. Minimum monthly repayments are required. A monthly account fee of $9.95 applies and is subject to change. Pay your closing balance in full by the due date each month and we'll waive the fee. Available to approved applicants only and subject to completion of satisfactory credit check. Other charges may be payable. T&CS apply. 2 SIP Money installments, available to approved applicants only, and subject to completion of satisfactory credit check upon application. Installment plan splits eligible purchases of $300 and above into equal repayments within the interest-free period. Eligible purchase excludes SIP bills and gift cards. A monthly account fee of $9.95 applies, and a one-off establishment fee may apply for new customers. Additional charges may apply, see TNCS. Under the contract, minimum monthly repayments are required. If you turn off installments, all future transactions will be reverted to the minimum monthly repayment. Paying only the minimum monthly repayment amount will generally not repay out the purchase within the interest-free period. Any balance outstanding at the expiry of the interest-free period will be charged at the applicable standard variable interest rate of 25.9% per annum. As at 1st June 2023. Interest, fees and charges are subject to change. Terms and conditions apply and are available on application. See your contract for further details. Credit provided by SIP Money Payments T Limited ABN 58 164 440 900 and 93 Australian Credit License Number 441878. Asterisk rewards are redeemable when you reach the rewards goal. See Promotion and Reward Program TNCs for more details. Asterisk tap to pay in store available with SIP Pay only. Use the card everywhere that Visa contactless payments are accepted in store. Card TNCS apply. Single-use card available with SIP Pay and SIP Money only. Use the card everywhere that Visa contactless payments are accepted online. Card TNCS apply. 3 payments may take up to 5 business days to reach your biller. Certain biller exclusions apply including, but not limited to credit institutions, gambling, share trading, personal loans and deft rent. A $2.50 processing fee may be payable for each bill processed using SIP Money. The amount of the fee will be advised and authorized by you at the time of any relevant bill payment. Exceptions may apply. Registered to be paid T Limited ABN 6979 137 518.
Okay, I'm gonna head off. Gotta do things and that, whatever it was. God. La, woo, God. Anyway, sex, love, rock and roll, intermix sector, YouTube channel. Goodbye. I hope you learn.